Hello, my name's Karina Thompson, and in this video I'm going to explain the differences between subscribing to the mySewnet embroidery software system and buying it outright. You might find it useful to watch my earlier film, 12 Great Features of mySewnet embroidery software, to understand the power of the system to create, embellish and enhance your very own embroideries. I want to start by pointing you to a comparison chart on the mySewnet website that I think you'll find really useful in terms of explaining those differences between subscribing and buying the system outright. So I'm on the internet and I'm on mySewnet.com, and I'm going for this option across here at the top, subscription plans and pricing, and so I'm going to click on that. And that opens up the subscription plans and pricing page, and I am going to scroll just nearly halfway down where it says I'd rather buy my own copy of the mySewnet embroidery software, and there's a link here, learn more. So again, I'm going to click on that, and again if I scroll down you come to this comparison chart. Subscribe or buy, which version is best for you? So let's actually talk about those differences. With a subscription, you can choose either the silver or platinum level. If you make a one-time purchase, there are 3 levels to choose between: silver, gold and platinum. If, for instance, you buy the silver level of software and then decide you would like to upgrade to the platinum, you can do that. So let's talk about the differences between a subscription and the one-time purchase. One difference is that you will always have the latest version of the software. If new features come out in the future, perhaps different hoops, or there might be other new accessories coming out, you would not be able to upgrade and use those within the one-time purchase software. Another big difference is a subscription allows you to access the mySewnet library with over 5,500 embroidery designs for you to download, stitch out. You can customize it, you can do all sorts of stuff with those many embroidery designs. But it might be that you say, well, actually, Karina, I'm not interested in the mySewnet library, and I'm not too worried about what future accessories might come in the future. I've got more than enough. I can see the potential of actually just sticking with the embroidery software as it is now, and that's absolutely fine. Because it might be you say, well, actually, I want to own that copy of the software. I want to make just a one-time payment and then it's mine to keep, that I can activate it on 2 different machines, and if I then want to transfer it onto another machine, I can deactivate it myself to then transfer it across. And if that's the case, then maybe you should be considering that one-time purchase. What I'd like to do is now actually scroll down a little bit and talk about the differences in terms of the features on the software. And again, as I mentioned earlier, you might find it useful to watch that film about the 12 great features of the mySewnet software. So you can see the basic operations. That's to do with color sorting, exporting. Those go across the board. And let me just add, the export feature in the mySewnet embroidery software means that you can export your embroidery design in all the main file formats that most embroidery machines will read. So you don't have to have either a Husqvarna Viking, Pfaff or Singer embroidery machine to use the mySewnet embroidery software. The design adjustments is about scaling and also being able to see the order that your embroidery is stitched out in. Those kind of adjustments in terms of that the design capabilities. Now, one of the big features with the mySewnet embroidery software is the fact that you get cloud storage and that you can send direct from your embroidery software to that cloud storage or a Wi-Fi enabled machine. And again, you can see that it's right across the board, whether you subscribe or own the software outright. The same is true with the text capabilities within the software, along with using frames, borders and flourishes, the encore capabilities where you can take a small embroidery and repeat it decoratively into a much larger embroidery. And there are over 2,000 super designs within the software, whether or not you subscribed or buy, which you can scale to any size with no loss of quality of image. But there are differences between the different levels of software when it comes to wizards. And I don't know if you noticed, but there's a little plus by some of the categories on this chart. And if you click that, it will actually expand so you can see there's a bit more information. So again, I'm going to scroll down. So you can see on the silver subscription and the silver buy outright, you can access the endless system, which will allow you to turn your embroidery into an endless border embroidery. And you can access the split project wizard, which would allow you to take a large embroidery and divide it up. So for instance, let's say you have an embroidery design that is too big for your hoops on your machine. That's what the split project wizard will do. But you can see on both gold and platinum that you get the Spyro design, the Express design wizard, Express monogram, the family tree, my favorite photo stitch, project in the hoop, block, quilt block, and word sculpt, as well as being able to import fonts. This is like decorative embroidered fonts from embroidery and turn them into fonts that basically you can type the letters directly in. But you can see over here that we do have some aspects of the software that are missing from the gold level compared to the platinum. So let's talk about what these are. Basically, there's a new feature that allows you to make custom shapes within Word Sculpt. And it might be that you say, well, actually, Karina, I know that there are 200 shapes in the regular Word Sculpt. That's enough to keep me quiet for a while. I'm not going to worry about that. And you can't access the cross-stitch wizard in the gold level of the paid-for software. So again, I'm going to scroll down. Let's talk a little bit more. In the gold and the platinum levels of the software, you can create appliques. But you would need to subscribe to the platinum level if you wanted to use the draw and paint module that would allow you essentially to make your own clip arts. You would need to subscribe for the platinum level if you were interested in the embellish feature that allows you to digitize your own embroideries for a ribbon attachment, embroidered markers for hot fix crystals. And then again, you would need to subscribe or buy at platinum level if you're interested in stitch editor or digitizing. Now it might be you say, Karina, I don't know what these are. Basically, these two modules allow you to really make deep, fundamental editing changes to your embroidery design. This is where you could change the direction of your fill pattern or go in and change characteristics of stitches right in the middle of your embroidery. It's a very powerful tool that basically these two modules are my favourite waste of time. And at platinum level, you can access the sketch and cross-stitch modules. Just be aware that the sketch module is not available in a Mac computer. So you can see on the chart that we have a subscribe box or find a dealer. Now, I would always say to you, please talk to your dealer about the software. Even if you're looking to subscribe, they should be able to make sure that you're choosing the right software at the right level for what you want to do. They should be able to demonstrate the software so that you know that that's going to be a good fit for you. And if you do choose to subscribe, if you subscribe through your dealer, they will be able to give you 12 months for the price of 10. And let's face it, we all like free stuff. I hope you found this a useful video and that you can use this information to make your decision about whether or not you should subscribe or buy your mySewnet embroidery software. Please look out for other videos in the series. Happy sewing!